we are back with more drums, live drum practice. Teen Spirit, day 9. Hope to wrap this up in 2 or 3 days. I know there's some fills I haven't done yet, but maybe we'll add them onto the list. We'll see what we get through. So yeah, day 9. Continuing to work. We're gonna work. Yesterday was speeds. Just really trying to get the tempos a little faster. Today I think I'm going to focus on tightening everything up. So kind of like just going back and forth between different ideas in practice. If you want to support us and help us make more videos, have more sheet music available for you on our website, become a member at musicbythemeasurespro.com. All right, so what I'd like to do, actually, so for kind of starting on, coming up with some philosophies as we do this. Yesterday, making our speed our focus, going 10 under was like a good place to start. Well, today, if tightening up is our focus, let's go 20 under and see if that's a good place to start to just really kind of like tighten up some of the aspects of our playing. So 85 is going to become 65. And one thing I need to think about on these 16th notes on my kick, 1E. That very quick, right? So when I do 2 of them in a row, 1E and that I either lose track of it or it's just hard for me to play. It's probably a little bit of both. So I want to be able to get that response down of that one. Actually, it'd be a good exercise to take out that flam and just go 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and So see, like just doing that, we come up with a new exercise. Let's do 55 though. And I really only want to focus on, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We'll just highlight the first 2 beats. I want it slow enough where I can actually think through 1E and 2E and 1E and I want this to be as tight as possible. 1E and 2E and 1E and 2E and 1E. Okay. So that's not a bad tempo, but it's bad for me. So, and now here's the problem. I forgot where we were at. I think we were like 80-ish around here. So hopefully I remember that later. 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 1E and 2E and 1E and 2E. So now let's put that back into context. I think this is going to be a nice back and forth between that idea, that's very simplistic, right? Really just trying to teach my foot and my brain, like, to hear that 16th note well, but also giving myself a guide by giving me these 8th notes. All right, let's try that at 45. It's going to be super slow. 3E and 4E and 1E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4 and all right, let's go by 5s. Same thing, we'll start with our little exercise, and then get into the beat. 2 and 4 and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4 and doing this by fives. Now, again, going back to my leg not being perfect yet, or on the way to being decent, this wears me out a little bit. So, like, probably for like 5 more minutes, I'll try this. Then I'm gonna have to is enough to tire my leg out, which is a good bad thing. Like, right, if we do this every single day, we'll start strengthening and having more endurance, and then hopefully after time it develops a little bit better technique. One E and 2 E and 3. So there were a couple in there that were pretty nice, and I was getting a good groove, and then it fell apart. And 3 and 4 and. And 4 and 1 E and 2 E and. All right, let's do 60. Kind of going to treat these tempos like I did yesterday, where I push them up to where I felt comfortable and then move on. So this may not get back to the 80 right now, but then, you know, I'm going to run through all the 3 sections or 4 sections I need to, and then come back to this and then get it up to hopefully close to that speed again. And 3 and 4 and. Getting sloppy. We're going to do one more before we move on. 2 and 3 and 4 and. So this tempo, right, is a little hard for me. 2 E and 3 E and 4 and. We're just going to leave that at that. I'm going to play it by itself, but I think that's a good exercise to continue to get our tempo up and to just really concentrate on focusing on just the leg and getting that leg stronger and more confident. And 4 and. Always like that middle grouping of the 16th notes I get sloppy on. All right, we're gonna move on. So like what I like about that is that was 10 minutes. Yesterday I think I spent like 15 minutes on a section and kind of like wore myself out. But every single time you just do this every day, you'll get the sections just up, up, and up. All right, so the tightening up on this one is really this 16th note of my snare. It gets wonky and kind of lose its way. So same thing. We're gonna start 20 under. And actually what we'll do, no, we're going to start 30 under. So we got to do math. So just know that we were at 88. Gives me a good idea. And I really just want to go 2, 3, E. 2, 3, E. Really fix the placement of that snare, and then that'll help me fix the placement of those 2 kicks afterwards, because that's also where I'm sloppy. 2, 3 E and 2, 3 E, 2, 3 E. So clearly, trying to get confident on just the to a kick, to a kick. Okay, now let's put that 16th note in after the kick. Okay, so I can tell that I'm not, you can probably tell too, not lining up with that metronome yet. So I'm going to play around with that idea. I'm just trying to not rush the E. That last snare beat is what I think I always rush as we get to faster tempos. Or it could even be the kicks that I'm rushing. So it's, figure out where I'm falling apart and then trying to fix that. Slower tempos are the answer for that. A 3E and a 2, a 3E and a... So trying some different things with the feet. Sometimes it's working. Most of the time it wasn't. All right, 63, we're going to do the same thing. 2, a 3E and a 2. And more sloppiness, but that's okay. Do 68, and then we'll put the whole thing together. Okay, it's funny that I'm okay with the sloppiness when my goal was to tighten it up. But maybe the tightening up is more like just understanding like how to make those movements, right? Because those movements at faster tempos are what screws me up. I'm not able to play it. I can't hear the rhythm, and my foot or hand doesn't do what I want to when I wanted to do it. So, in a weird way, playing this sloppy with metronome is helping me tighten up and figure it out. 1, a 2, and a 1. Whole thing still kind of slow, 68. A couple good ones there, and then I got distracted by the screens. Let's go 72. But yeah, overall, I felt pretty good about that. A couple times started rushing, falling apart. A lot of it is I either rush. I don't feel like I'm rushing this so much. I feel like my lack of control and my kicks are so poor it's hard for me to do. So just having to do it a bunch. I did feel tighten the good amount of tightening, right? Not strain tightening, but tightening in the rhythm though, from just that little exercise. And a 4 and 1, a 2. A 2, 3 and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and that I made this comment before. That's how I want the kicks to sound. That amount of rhythmic tautness is when I'm playing everything. It's not happening, but it's good to be able to do it by the kicks by itself. A 2, 3 and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and so here's how I'm feeling. Like I got the idea. It's in my brain now, right? We're gonna move on and kind of do this wrap up at the end where we play all the beats one more time. And maybe we have new numbers. Maybe it isn't 88 by the time we're done today. Maybe it stays at where it was at. Now this beat I felt pretty good about yesterday, so we're just gonna jump in at 82 and see how it goes. 1, a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1, a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1, a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and what I really like about that, just all these different kick drum patterns are awesome for one, right? But just the change in this allows me to work on different technique. It is happening at 82 where it wasn't happening in the other section because the kick drum's just a little bit different. So just jumping around to these different sections, especially when you get kind of like fatigued of a section where you're just like, shit, man, I'm playing this over and over again. It's not getting much better. Just move on. Move on after you spent an extra 5 minutes on it. Don't move on to move on to move on to move on, because then you don't learn anything. Spend some time on it. Push to where you're comfortable. Pick your battles. I say that with myself and with students. Like, choose what you want to get out of today's practice. Today's practice is not speed. Today's practice is tightening it up. But since yesterday I played this one pretty tight, I was like, I can jump in on 82 and play it good. 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1, a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1, a 2. All right. 86. feels really nice is that control of those doubles. Now, if I was being picky with my own foot, I'd be like, I really want to be able to land. I don't know. You can't see it on camera, but it's the difference between and not being comfortable and being comfortable is really what it amounts to. You know, I'm not comfortable enough on the drums yet to the place where it's like I sit here and I'm like, oh, this is natural to me. I sit with a guitar in my hand. For the most part, I feel, I don't know the entire guitar, but I feel pretty comfortable. I understand the 6 strings. I understand what's going on there. Here it's like, I want to have control of that foot. I want that foot to do what I want it to do all the time. All right, let's do it a couple more times. And I could slow this part down and work on just that, but I'm not in the mood for that today. So for fun, we'll do 90. 2 and a 3 and a 4. Cool. I'm interested to see how 118 goes. I mean, I'm not ready for that yet, as you can tell. All right, so this one only interesting because like 90. Let's just do this a minute. Let's do 94. 90 felt like it was gonna fall off the wheels, right? Megatron, what you up to today, my guy? So yeah, 90 very much felt like it was gonna fall off the wheels. So I mean, if that felt like it, this one's gonna really feel like it. There were a couple in there. First 2 I think were pretty good, and then the tempo started going away. Now I do feel comfortable enough that I could keep on pushing that tempo, but let's work on other sections. Let's drop this 20. And really want to get the 1 and 2 triplet 3 and 1 and 2 triplet 3 and. Really hear that triplet so we don't rush it. 3 and 4. 1 and 2 triplet 3 and. And 2 triplet 3 and 4. 1 and 2 triplet 3 and 4. There we go. All right. Up by 4, same exact thing. 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and. 1 and 2 triplet 3 and. I have a little bit of a delay. I think I'm playing everything in time, for the most part. Maybe I'm rushing that triplet every once in a while. We'll have to watch the tape at some point and see. Um, it's that, right? As soon as I'm done with that, and I got a kick there, right? And I got a little bit of a space. I got the space of a 16th note triplet to get back to here. So as we continue to push these tempos up, that's going to be interesting. That's what I'm going to say. All right, faster. 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Triplet 3 and triplet 3 and 4. 1 and 2, triplet 3 and 4. 1 and 2, triplet 3 and 4. 1 and 2, triplet 3 and I missed the hi-hat, but we might as well speed this up. 2 triplet 3 and 4. 1 and 2, triplet 3 and 4. 1 and 2, triplet 3 and triplet 3 and 4. 1 and 2, triplet 3 and 4. Don't know where that came from. So, and again, as we push these tempos, which again, our goal today is not tempo pushing. Our goal today is tightness, which I feel like this is decently tight. Triplet's just going to be hard for me to play. It's going to get sloppier as we get faster, is really what I want to say. 3 and 4. 1 and 2, triplet 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Triplet 3 and 4. 1 and 2, triplet. So I think that's the speed that I can be at right now on that. Comfortable. Uncomfortable, because that was not comfortable. But the speed that I can kind of play, 84. All right, let's do this at 50. And it's really these 16th notes at the end that get me more than anything else. 1 and 2, 3 E and 4 E and 1. Let's try it. I want 50 to be relaxed. Again, work on tightening that stuff up. 2, 3 E and 4 E and 1 and 2, 3 E and 4 E and and 4 E and so, and I know one of the areas that I need to really work on is that a 1 and a 1 and. As we get to faster tempos, I play that like shite. and a 1 and 2, a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Not enjoying that. I'm gonna slow it down just a little bit because I want to fix this 16th note here. Otherwise, as I continue to speed it up, it's just gonna rear its ugly head and be ugly and be sloppy. 3 and a 4 and a 1 and 2, a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and 2. Suddenly cannot play. 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2, a 3 and a 4 and a 1. Let me play this without click for a minute because something's wrong in my head right now. So we got 4 E and another, just like a good little exercise, right? I'm trying to hear those connections. So that 4 E and oh, all right, we got an idea. Let's slow this down. Let's try 40, and I'm gonna pretend this is one of this measure. Which, I mean, essentially it kind of is. And we're just going to go 40 and a 1 and 40 and a 1 and to really work on these kick drums. And 4 E and a 1 and 4 E and a 1 and 4 E and a 1 and 4 E and a 1. So you can hear the hiccup, right? Like my foot doesn't, again, I call this out 1,000 times, so just deal with it. It's that bad foot technique that I'm carrying over, and we'll fix it. We'll fix it down the road. I will have to take a whole week one time and just do these exercises that I know that are good and beneficial, but I choose to learn songs because there's a deadline for a student to learn something. So, yes, that's my excuse. But just hearing that rhythm, that 4 E and 1 and that one, that second time you heard the sloppiness. That's what I want it to sound like, and I want that control as well. 4 E and 1 and all right, let's try that with click again. And 1 and 4 E and 1 and 4 E and 1. Now the actual part. That's just a good exercise for control. So here's my plan. We're gonna do this exercise for one more hot minute or so. I don't know what that means. And then we're going to just leave whatever tempo I end up with and then go to the beginning, hit everything one more time before we're done. I try to aim for like 45 minutes to an hour for these sessions. That's kind of like the bare minimum practice that I think you should put in. Obviously, if you want to have the gains, it is not brute forcing it. If I put a 2-hour session in, I think by the end of hour 1, everything from hour 1 to hour 2 is not going to have as many gains. I'm not going to get as much learned, right? Your brain gets tired, your body gets fatigued. You're better off doing like multiple 1-hour sessions throughout the day. Like if you really want to see gain, and someday down the road, that's what I'd like to do too. Just like 3 1-hour sessions. That's a great time. If you have that much time in your life, that's awesome. Actually, everyone has that much time in your life if you can commit to it and show up and all that good shit. 4E and a 1 and 4E and a 1 and. Now, this is something I probably need to do for another 10 minutes. Today's not that day, though. So I'll do it one more time. But I can feel it really... Wait, here's what I'm able to do at that slower tempo. I'm able to use proper technique. And focusing on just a smaller section allows my brain to just reiterate this over and over again versus having to, read a whole measure and think and not lose my concentration. So it's exactly what I need to work on. I don't know if I have the patience to work from 48 all the way to like 80. I don't have that today. It's the same idea. All right, from the top, with the ambition. So we lost some tempos, right? I think this was around 80-something, 85, 86, and this was around there as well. And then my last little run through it was not there. Now, sometimes, second pass through, you get those tempos back. Sometimes we might be leaving with a lower number, and that's okay too. So we'll just jump in at 65. Really not worrying about playing it perfect. Now we're trying to push speed. Earlier it was push tightness, tautness with the rhythm. This is speed. 2 and a 3 and a 4 and. Now there's something weird about that. This happened to me yesterday too, because it's probably the first time I did this where I went back to the beginning. It just clicks. So that was easy. 65 was just felt relaxed. All right, let's see if we can keep that relaxed feeling. And a 4 and. So I still feel relaxed. Trying to think about the exercise I did earlier that helped me tighten this up. Oh, it was this one. Yeah, I like that because I can tell a difference. 3 and a 4 and. Now, here's the difference between today and yesterday. Go 74. Keep these even numbers going. I'm hearing that rhythm better at a faster tempo, and it's by going through that. It's like a circle. By going to that slower tempo and spending time with it, I'm hearing this rhythm at a faster tempo, tighter. Like it makes more sense in my brain. I wish I could explain myself better. By make sense in my brain, I'm hearing those kicks on the E and the better than I did yesterday, and I think a lot of it is this exercise. I think a better drummer would do that same exercise without the click. This click is nice because I'm just playing on my kick is just playing on the offbeats, right? 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 and you take that away, 1 E, yeah, I fall apart right away. Probably be another good exercise if we don't have this song done by the end of it's Thursday. If we don't have this song done by early next week, I'll probably like strip this all down, go back to those simpler exercises. Actually, that's a good idea. I might actually do a tracking video. This is the idea. I'll do a tracking video on these exercises. That kind of like meets some of my needs as producing video content, but also doing them at slower tempos would really help me out as well. And I think this let alone, ignore the song, this is a good exercise. And as we get to farther tempos, and then the more challenging aspect of that exercise would be taking the click away, or your click. I would still do it with a metronome. 74, excuse me. One, two. And a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and I'm gonna call that good. Let's do 82 and a 3 and a 4 and 3 and a 4 and all right. I'm struggling because I want to go faster, but I also hit these other sections in the next 5 minutes, so we'll move on. 4 and 1, a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1, a 2 and a 3. A 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1, a 2 and 3. 1, a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and 1, a 2 and a 3. 1, a 2, a 3 and a 4 and 1. Totally not playing that 16th on the right spot. My brain's like, no, it goes on the offbeat. Well, it does, but the and offbeat, not the offbeat, and vice versa. A 2, a 3 and 1, a 2, a 3 and a 4. We're going to see what's going to happen with this. I'm going to try to do 72, but it wasn't working. 3 and a 4 and 1, a 2. sloppy, but, you know, at least relatively correct. 2, a 3, and a 4, and 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. So, calling that good. Now, good is relative, right? Like those tempos are a little bit lower than I set them before, which is fine. Because that means tomorrow will be the goal of speed, and we'll really just try to push these tempos as fast as we can. And, you know, it's that back and forth of practice and picking your battles. All right. Thank you guys for checking this out. Musicbythemeasurespro.com if you want to be a member and help support us making more content like this. Videos, tabs, sheet music, all that good stuff. All right.